Let's be honest, in the world of finance, a lot of us are kind of flying blind. We're using blunt instruments and, well, we end up hurting our own portfolios. So today, we're going to open up a totally different kind of toolkit. It's designed for something its creators call financial surgery, and it promises precision, control, and maybe even a cure for one of the market's most painful problems.
Man, if you've ever been active in the markets, those three words, they hit you right in the gut, don't they? It's that awful feeling of watching a perfect trade just completely reverse on you, or holding on to a loser for way too long, or maybe cutting a winner short just because you got scared. That's the financial pain. That's the bleeding that this entire system is built to stop.
Now, what's really cool about this whole approach is the core idea, the metaphor. The argument here is that the market itself isn't the problem. The problem is the tools and the mindset you're bringing to the fight. It suggests most people are basically gamblers operating with a butter knife. It's all chaos and anxiety. The goal? To turn you into a surgeon, operating with clarity, precision, and a scalpel.
Okay, so every good surgery starts with a diagnosis, right? Before we even pick up the tools, we have to understand the pain. This whole framework isn't just another trading indicator you slap on a chart. It's positioned as a complete life support system for your capital.
So, this life support system is built on 4 pillars, and they're all connected. Each one is designed to tackle a critical reason why traders fail. You've got the scanner for finding the right entry, the time machine for nailing the timing, the shield to manage your risk, and the mind to get your psychology straight. They aren't separate things. They're meant to work together as one cohesive unit.
All right, let's dig into the first 2 tools and see how this thing is actually built. You could call these the offensive parts of the toolkit. They're designed to answer 2 of the biggest questions out there. What should I trade? And maybe even more important, when should I trade it? The first piece of equipment is called the entry breach system. And you know, its main job, funny enough, isn't actually to find trades, it's to stop you from taking bad ones. The whole idea is to filter out all that confusing market noise and clearly show you what it calls the no-trade zone. Basically, a time where the system says, hey, just sit on your hands and wait.
And this just shows you the difference perfectly. I mean, look at this. On one side, you've got your typical messy price chart that just causes indecision and anxiety. It's what traders call getting chopped up. But on the other side, with the system on, you see this clean, filtered zone. The whole point is to give you clarity and only give you signals when the conditions are just right.
So how does it pull this off? Well, it really has 3 core jobs. First, you have the filter, which just hides all that low probability junk to stop you from overtrading. Second, the signal, which pops up to alert you to what it sees as a high probability breakout. And third, the trailing stop, which is this dynamic line that follows the price up and gives you a crystal clear, emotion-free signal on exactly when to get out.
Okay, so we've covered the what and how of getting into a trade. But then the system brings in a whole other dimension, one that it says most traders completely, totally ignore: time. The argument is, it's not just about what price you get in at, it's about when you get in. And that brings us to tool number 2, the chronometer. Now, it's built on something called Fibonacci time cycles. It sounds complicated, but it's really just applying these mathematical ratios you see all over nature, like in seashells and galaxies, to the markets. The goal is to basically create a map of the future, projecting specific dates where a market's trend is statistically likely to hit a turning point. And using it is actually a pretty simple 3-step process. First, you anchor the tool to a big past event, like a major market top or bottom. Then, the tool projects these future dates where a turn is likely. And that last step, that's a huge shift in behavior. Instead of chasing the market all over the place, you just wait patiently for the market to arrive at these predetermined bus stops. All right, we've looked at the tools for getting in and timing it right. Now we're going to shift gears to the defensive side of the toolkit. These are the parts designed to protect your money and, this is a big one, manage your own psychology. So, you might have a great signal and the perfect time, but the very next question is the one this system claims trips up almost everybody: how much do you actually buy? And the argument is that this decision way too often is driven by feelings. Oh, this feels like a winner, instead of just cold, hard math. The solution they offer is the dosage calculator. This tool is framed as a risk management shield. Really, it's a calculator that takes all the emotional guesswork out of how much you buy and turns it into a purely objective mathematical process. No more feelings involved. And the precision it gives you is just fascinating. You plug in your account size and where your stop loss is going to be, and it doesn't just give you a rough number. It spits out an exact number, like 437 shares. And the logic is simple. That specific number guarantees that if the trade goes south, you lose a precise, predetermined, and totally survivable percentage of your capital. It makes your risk a fixed number.
So, you've got your entry, your timing, and your risk all locked down and systematized. But the framework then turns to what it calls the most dangerous variable of all, and that's you, the trader. Your own psychology, your fear, your greed, that stuff can destroy even the most perfect system.
And this is where the last and maybe the most unique piece of the puzzle comes in, the psychological scrub protocol. It's an AI-driven tool that's designed to figure out your specific money block, that subconscious belief or fear that's messing up your financial decisions. You tell it your problem, like revenge trading, and it gives you a real action plan to help you rewire that bad habit.
Okay, let's pull all of this together. This final section is all about the complete transformation this system is trying to create. That huge shift from being a gambler who's just reacting to market noise to becoming a disciplined surgeon who's executing a predefined plan.
And here's the absolute key takeaway. These 4 things aren't just a random collection of tools you can pick and choose from. The hardware for your entry, the timing from the chronometer, the risk shield from the dosage calculator, and the mindset from the scrub protocol, they are all designed to work as one single integrated operating system for your trading.
And that really brings us to the core philosophy behind this entire toolkit. It's the idea that the market isn't just random chaos. It's a mechanism. A mechanism that, over time, systematically moves money from the accounts of people who are chaotic and emotional to the accounts of people who are disciplined and systematic.
And that leaves us with the final, pretty provocative question that this whole framework poses. It's a question that's really designed to make you stop and think about your own approach to the markets. If we accept the idea that this transfer of wealth is always happening, which side of that equation do you want to be on? The chaotic side or the disciplined one?